Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Georgiana. It is week 13 of Project Christmas Cheer, where we are making cards for the Angel Card Project and cards for soldiers. This week we're going to be trying a rocker card. Now, I have never made one of these before. I've been wanting to try it for a while, and I was inspired because I had some leftover circular pieces that was cut from when I did some of the snow globe cards. So I went through my dies and I found one that I kind of like as a Christmassy backdrop and some of my papers, and we're going to try to make this rocker card today, and we'll see. It'll be a little more interesting than what you're seeing here, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to load up my Cricut mat and get these cut out, and then we will be back to do some die cutting, and we'll start piecing everything together. Alright, I'm back from cutting everything out and um, started putting stuff together, but I decided to hold off finishing it until I could show you what I'm doing. Um, so these were the circles that I had left over that were the center of the snow globes that I did a few weeks ago. I don't remember when. This is a piece I just cut out. It's a little bit smaller, but not enough to matter, so I'm going to glue this down. I'm adding the cardstock to the back because this really is just paper. It's not cardstock. So it's very thin, and I want to just stiffen it up a little bit so it doesn't lose its shape. I'm just trying to kind of get this as centered as possible. It's roughly the same size, but it's got the die cut's got a fancy edge to it, that the scalloped edge, I should say, I guess. Okay, switch gluing that down. And we're going to finish this one, so we're going to kind of get it centered up and start applying some glue on here. Just double check that I'm still pretty centered. It's pretty good. Bending all those little delicate pieces up that I don't want to bend. So I'm just going to, I know you can't see this very well, if at all. Just putting a little bit of glue on the back. Get a little glue on my mat. Not too bad. Okay. So I've already glued this half circle on the bottom of the rocker card. Let's switch over to this one now. Well, no, we can't because it's not dry. So now we're going to glue this onto the front here. You just kind of want to get it centered. So I'm not usually very exact with my measurements, as you can probably tell. That up, just so we don't accidentally glue that down. to stiffen that back piece up. Don't want to stand up. My front's too heavy. Oh no. Okay. So I think what I'll do is, oh, there we go. Oops, die down, die down. I could put a little, like a little piece between here maybe, to make sure that it doesn't slide open too much, like that. Yeah, I think that that's what I need to do. But before I get to that, let's finish gluing this other one together. I've got some others, but I didn't cut enough of those, so let's glue this one on. I thought about embossing this layer, but you don't really see but a little bit of it, so I decided not to emboss it. And you can barely see the score line on here. So that's what I'm using to kind of help myself line it up. I can put this on there. So let's put the glue too far down. Which is why I don't normally do it that way. But it seemed like a good idea at the time. I'm going to have to let that dry. But while it's doing that, I can glue this piece on here. Couldn't do that if I tried. But since I wasn't trying, on the back of his antlers. Make sure I get it pretty straight. It's not. I'm going to fold our score lines here. There's number 2. Yeah, I'm going to have to put a little in there. So I've got some scraps over here. Just cut a strip. Think about this. So I want to do, let's fold this in half. I think I need to go this way. I? I'm not really sure. Let's see. I'm just making it worse. Thick. I might have cut too big a piece. I've never had to do this part before, so I don't know what I'm doing. I think that'll work. Just even that one side's a lot better. Okay, put a little bit on here too. Let that dry. Tried glue all over myself. There we go. Okay. Probably should do something similar over here. But let me try to get rid of this glue. A little too aggressive. Yeah, now that one wants to fall. So let me, I feel like I could do that differently. Get the same result or a better result. So let's fold it. Center. We'll fold these into the center. Do it like that. I don't know, maybe we'll try and see. I'll fold this into the center. It's really hard to do. Okay, that one wasn't so bad. Okay, so glue this edge down. This edge down. No, this may all just be a big experiment that ends up in the bin. We'll see. A little bit of glue. A little bit of glue. Oh, I forgot what I was making. my glue dry. I thought I had a sufficient weight cardstock on the back, but I guess I did not, because I don't think it should need the bracing. Well, let's see. Okay. There we go. So, oh. It's just not. There we go. Stuff around. Okay, so a couple sentiments for the front, and you could put something on the back as well if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that today, because those are too big. I'd have to cut them down, but I could cut them down and insert them in there. If you wanted to be able to write more of a sentiment, or greeting or message or whatever. So let's see what we've got. Let's see what we have for sentiments. I know I have some blue ones in here somewhere. Not bad, but don't love it. Don't hate it. Definitely don't like that. That's way too big. That might be alright. Don't like that one. This isn't bad. Let's see what this one looks like. Feels kind of small to me. How about this one? Come down with it a little. Yeah, I think I still like this one better. Yep. I feel like that's way too big, too square. Too square. This one matches this one actually. So I could make them identical. Too square. Too big, too square. Too yellow, but I don't dislike the shape. It's just too yellow. Too square, too pointy. Too off-white, whatever. Alright, so it looks like these are our 4 options. So we'll do one oval and one circle. And I'll put the rest of these away. Now, do we want to pop it up a little bit? That might look nice. Let's see. There we go. So, put some of these on the back. Dimensionals. Just to give it a little lift. Make it stand out from the background a little bit better. I think that's probably good. Let's put some on this one. Could probably put a couple more on here, but I'm not going to. I think it will be fine. So let's get rid of our paper. Okay. that centered roughly. And push it down. I need to give this a little. There we go. Those are going to need some adjustments. Let's do this one next. Come over there. Okay, so Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, I didn't get that centered. Oh well. Doesn't affect its ability to stand up, so I think we're good. Now I thought about maybe adding a little bit of greenery, kind of sticking out the back. Let's see what I've got here. I'm going to pause for a second and I'll be right back. Alright, got some greenery here. Not too big. Nozzle isn't all glued shut. There we go. That's good. Get that to glue down. And we'll do this one. Put a little bit more tips of these leaves. Sometimes I like to leave them a little loose, but in this case, we'll glue them down. There's one. Well, while we're at it, while that glue is drying, let's put our sticker on the back with our name. And our signature yellow butterfly. Which side is there's the sticky? Okay. So there we go. There's one. Now, can we find some more pieces. There's that. That's not bad. Do we have it going in the other direction? Those are not the same. Actually, this one is the front of it anyway. Okay, let's get that off of there. Put that one there. This one there like that. Where I put the dimensionals, it's kind of giving me fits a little bit. Might have to just trim that one off to be able to get it in there. But it just seems it's kind of small, isn't it? It feels kind of small. Oh, there we go. I like that better. I'm okay with the little one over there and the bigger one over there. So let's do that. Make sure it's glued down. Same on that side. A little bit of glue on the back side and a little bit more over here. Okay, let's put our sticker. And as I've said before, stickers are optional. You know, if you don't want to put a sticker or a stamp, whatever you have on the back, that's fine. Some people do and some people don't. Alright, now do I have any cardinals that look like they would fit on here? Doesn't even look like it needs one. There's a flying one. It's kind of on the big side, but let's see. Look like it fits. Oh, I think it does. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I like it. Could use a little more splash, but it's not bad for a simple little card. So let's put a cardinal on this one. Let's get the one that's going the right direction. put a little bit of glue under this little piece of tree here because it's wanting to bend back upwards. Okay, so my cardinals and my butterflies are just vinyl that I cut out with my Cricut. I do have some cardinals that are cardstock. Those would have been alright too. They're a little smaller. But there you go. You can kind of see now it stands up. And it stands up. So there we go. Not too shabby for just throwing something together. You could add a little bit of Wink Estella or something, you know, to add a little bit of sparkle. Unless you're going to send these 2 cards for soldiers, in which case no sparkly glittery bits. But if they're going to anybody else, I think it would look nice to have some Wink Estella on there. And I have a couple more card bases and a couple more cutouts. So I'll put a couple more cards together off camera and maybe try to mix them up a little bit. Maybe put some ribbon behind them instead of some greenery. We'll see. But I'll do those off camera, and then I'll come back and I'll show you a quick snapshot of the 4. It looks like we're going to have 4 this week. So we're getting there. All right. So okay, so I decided to do something a little different with these remaining 2. Instead of cutting out another piece of paper, I do have some thicker cardstock remnants. So I thought I would just ink it a little bit so it's not white on white. And try that. So I kind of like it. It's blue, 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 which is my kind of my Christmas themed colors this year. So let's do this one too. Kind of want it a little bit darker, but my ink pad's running low. Just get a little bit around the edges. Try to get a little bit darker here. Okay. Yeah, I like it a little darker. Okay, so I have one more cut out, so I'm going to do one more circle, and then I'll end up cutting out one more card. So instead of 4 cards, we'll have 5 for this week. I actually store this pad upside down now so that the ink will run to the top, but it's still just about worn out. There we go. That's looking good. Gotta run into town later and I'm going to have ink all over me. I'm trying to just create a darker circle around a lighter inner circle. And that's not perfect, but I think it'll work. Oh yeah. So, cool. Away. Just rub a little bit more ink off it here. I don't want that ink to transfer to my project. Glue these pieces together. See, I think I did. A little bit on his antlers. Alright, let's hope we can get this entered. Should be relatively easy because they are the same size. Oh, did I get glue in there? I must have. You know, that might just have to be a place for a cardinal. Dries clear. Alright, let's try this guy. There we go. Alright, last one. No. It's a good thing I drive a car better than I drive this glue bottle because I would not be able to get insurance. A little bit on the antlers, get a little bit on the misses. Don't want her going anywhere. Ooh, that was a close one. Okay, let's see what we can do here. That's pretty good. Do this gently, very gently. So I don't want my glue going everywhere. Oh, and I slid it a little bit somehow, but I think it's all right. All right, so we can glue two of them together. We'll do that real quick, and then we'll be back. Alright, I decided to finish off these last two just a little bit differently. I'm adding this blue bow, and it is actually a part of a much larger ribbon, a satin curl swirl from China. Walmart sold them, and this is several years old, and I've just been using pieces of it this year for my cards. So what I did was I'm just going to take a little snip of it off. Set that aside. And then we'll get our little bow maker here. Now you can do this with a fork, which is how I used to do it. And I know there are videos out there that show you how to do it. The downside of the fork is you can't make as big a bow, but you can certainly make bows large enough for your cards, unless you're making really big cards. So we're going to go, this just kind of helps to hang on to it, if I can even get it in the little slot. And this last one, this last bow, I think it's a little bigger than I'd really like it to be. And I did 3 slots, so this time I'm just going to do 2. So you go over 2, 1, 2, you come back around, you pass the bow through this little hole here, and then you bring it up and down. Now, before I do that, I'm going to stick a glue dot in here just to help keep my bow together. So now we are going to take and we're going to tie our bow right over that glue dot. That just kind of helps it stay together. So then you can trim your bow now, or you can trim it later. Go ahead and trim it now. That might have been a little bit shorter than I wanted it, but oh well. Just slide your bow off. And this is where I usually put another, it doesn't feel like it's very tight. This is where I usually put another glue dot in the back, but I think if I just hold it, that tail where I want it to go, I think I'll be okay. Put another glue dot. And center that on your, maybe not center it, but put it on your card wherever you think it looks good. Try to slide that around a little bit. There we go. That's a pretty bad looking bow. It doesn't seem like it's very tight. I have to tighten it down a little bit. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Well, it's stuck on there now, but anyway. So those are the 4 cards. Got a little bit of cleanup to do here, but we've got those 2. Those are the most recent 2. And then our first 2. And I will go back and put a spot for a sentiment on the back here if somebody wants to write something. Otherwise, these are done. So we've got 4, and if I go back and finish this, we'll have 5 for this week. So we are still doing quite good, ahead of schedule. So anyway, there you go. There you have it. That is week 13 completed. So thanks for watching, and I hope I see you next week. Happy crafting!